Hey, all right, all right, all right. You are listening to the Dead Man's Tome podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Deadman, and this is a show, of course, recorded or broadcast in a trailer park deep in the heart of Meth County, Texas. I already said who the host is. Jeez, what's going on here? Do I have coronavirus? Maybe. I don't know. But with me tonight is Kyle Rader. How's it going?
I'm doing well, Mr. Deadman. Doing well.
That's good. That's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. You know what? I don't normally do this. Who am I kidding? I normally do it. Let me go ahead and take a shot now, beginning of the show, for all those out there that have to stay indoors and I have to go through that. I said in the pre-show that I wasn't going to talk much about coronavirus, but how many days have you been shut inside, Kyle?
I have been shut inside for, 10 days.
No shit.
10 days, yeah.
10 days. You're not shitting me?
10 days, man. It was last week that work told us to all go home, and been working from home since then. And other than a couple of quick trips to the grocery store to kind of try to stock up, but at that point, it was nuts. 10 days, and I got a 6-month-old, so we're definitely doing our diligence not to leave unless we have to. So
yeah,
we're living in strange times, friends. Strange times, but you hang in there. You keep your hands clean and just settle in and have some fun with us tonight. And
That's
maybe
right.
we can take your mind off of it.
That's right. What we do in support. Look, man, 10 days. I was going to just do for 5 days, take a shot. 10 days, I guess I'll take 2 shots. Here we go. A shot of Black Roast Kraken rum. Here we go.
Ooh.
I actually like this one. I'll take the other shot later on during the show. Anyway, so for those who don't know who Kyle Rader is, Kyle, you want to explain who you are and what you do?
Well, that's probably everybody. So I'm just trying to make my way in this writing world of ours. I'm just one of many, many people out there screaming into the void, hey, come read our stories. Come read my stories. I write all kinds of stuff. I write humor. I write horror. I write suspense. I occasionally do fantasy. I write really stupid stuff that is fun. Mm-hmm. And I write really bleak stuff that makes you want to shower. I run the gamut. I don't like to limit myself.
Okay. Now, do you have something that you'd recommend right now that would take people's that would distract people from their quarantine life?
Well, as a matter of fact, and ladies and gentlemen, this is called a segue. I have a new book out. It is called My BFF Satan. It is a horror comedy.
What? Wait. Back up.
Yes.
Satan can't be your BFF too. I thought he was my BFF.
Oh, he's everybody's BFF, man.
Oh, no, it doesn't work that way. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I clearly know how best friends forever work. There can only be one. Okay.
Did you pinky swear? If you pinky swore, then someone's been lied to.
You know what? Now I think about it, Satan did pinky swear me. I think he did.
Ooh, well, he is the prince of lies, among other things. It depends on what you believe, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, So tell us about this BFF Satan.
So this is a horror comedy book. It's basically everything I just described. It's scary. It is really funny. It is stupid. It is incredibly stupid in a good way that makes you laugh really hard and really loud. And it's also a little bit poignant, which is not what I intended when I wrote this book. When I write, I don't set out to write. I'm going to write this story and it's going to really drive home. It's not going to be like, this is not going to be Kill a Mockingbird or any of the classics that really still resonate to this day. I write stories that I think are going to be cool. Yeah. I'm pushing 40 and I'm still striving to be cool, which, that's my own hang up. But when I finished the book, I edited the book and I started sending it out. The initial feedback I started to get was, wow, yeah, this it's funny, there's scary, but there's some heartfelt stuff in here. And I'm like, there is? Really? Because I did not set out to write something very poignant. And now that I've gotten that feedback, I've reflected on the book, and now I realize, it is a stupid horror comedy, but it's also about one pretty important point that reflects my own life as I'm getting older now, and I'm a father of a 6-month-old myself. And it's that it seems like most of us anyway,
Mm-hmm.
there's this life that you want.
Yeah.
This is what you want. You've always wanted to do this. You always want to do this. And some people, they attain that, and that's, good for them. And most of us, though, we're chasing that dream, and we're still chasing that dream. In many ways, with my writing, I'm still chasing that dream. I want to do this full time. I want to be secure, but the likelihood of that is against me, and I know that. So the life that you want may not be as great as the life that you actually have built for yourself while you're trying to achieve that goal.
Huh.
So maybe if you stop and look around at your life, maybe you'll realize, it's not so bad.
It's not so bad after all. Wait a second. First off, on a scale of how many dick jokes are in your book, on a scale between 1 and 10, like 1 where like none, and 10 of like it's obscene, dick jokes everywhere, first page. Like, what are we talking about? How low brow comedy is this?
I think that I toned the dick jokes down in this one.
Okay.
My previous releases, I think we're probably it's still a solid 6.
Ooh, okay.
But
good.
there's a lot more. There's a lot more. I guess you could call them bits. Scenes that are set up to play out and be funny. So it's a bit more accessible for people who maybe don't like dick jokes as much as I do.
Gotcha. But you still have some there for me. Man, this sounds like a book I would definitely love reading. Okay. So you weren't expecting to write this, I guess, classic? I don't know if it's going to be a classic, but
I hope
you weren't
it's
expecting it to have any sort of message or anything, but it's meant to be fun, meant to be a horror comedy. Okay.
Yeah.
It has Satan in it. I'm thinking right now South Park. I'm thinking the Satan from South Park. Is that what we're dealing with? It's like, Saddam, I don't want to torture anybody anymore.
So if you even do a little research, just some cursory Googling about the history of Satan, you'll realize how there are many iterations of what this character has been throughout history. And I do say character because, sorry everyone, he was kind of made up.
Yeah.
Sorry to break it to you, but he was.
Wait, you mean to tell me he's not real? He's not real? Oh, damn it.
He's real. He's real if you believe he's real.
Wait. Time out. What I want to say is, for those who think he is real, let me ask him, how hard must it be for Satan to personally torture every single motherfucker in hell? To sodomize over and over again every single person in hell. That would drain you, man.
That's gonna chafe. That's definitely gonna chafe.
There's
for the Lord of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That'd be torture for him.
So
anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So I based my Satan on the theory that he was Lucifer and he fell.
Yeah.
So I took that main point and I was thinking, well, what's he going to look like? Because that's important. Because is he going to be the South Park guy with the horns and the hooves? Is he going to be all dap shit like, Gabriel Byrne and End of Days, that shitty Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which I actually kind of like. But then I got to thinking of logistics. I'm like, well, if he fell all the way from heaven, plunged through the earth, just the velocity alone, he would be fucking on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So my Satan is still basically the angel, except for he is constantly on fire. His eyes are burning, his ears are burning, his eyes burn a different color, his wings are all burnt off. He walks around completely on fire, feeling that he is burning. So he's kind of pissed off all the time. But then I started to combine that with what would I really think hell to be for me,
Hmm.
and that is an office environment, specifically an open air design. So I made Satan an administrator. I made him. I made him a corporate guy. He's corporate guy,
He's
and he
that
loves
boss
his.
that
He
asks you
loves.
to work on Sundays, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, he
If
loves
you could
the
come in
meetings,
on
man.
Saturday, that would be
So yeah,
great.
he's like Lumberg, but
Hmm.
a little bit more evil and with a little bit more of a personality than Lumberg.
Oh, great. Just a little bit
That would
more.
be that's from Office Space for the kids out
Yeah,
there
yeah.
because
They
that is
should.
an old movie now.
Hell, that's a great movie. That's
I
a
know.
classic. That's a
I
classic,
feel
man.
sad now. It is a
Ah,
classic.
man. Yeah, if we ask you to come in on Saturday. Oh, and also on Sunday too. It's like,
In hell, in hell, it's always the weekend and you're always working.
yeah, god damn. He's the office administrator. Wait. Is he so? But he's supposed to be run the. I guess he is run the show. Is he run the show in hell? Who runs the show in hell? Is it really Satan?
It's him. He's running the show, but he's still working for his dad.
Yeah, that's the thing here, because the lore, the biblical lore of Satan, like Lucifer, he was cast out from heaven from what, questioning God, and that's his punishment. Oh, you question me, I'm gonna cast you out. Like
Right.
like okay, dick move there, God. But
A
so he
little bit of a dick move, a little bit of an
yeah
overreaction, I would
yeah
say.
yeah. So he plays, I guess, devil's advocate, defends humanity. Like God, hey bro, why are you doing this to them? Like why did you help them out? Fuck you. Go down to hell. Go down to hell. Okay.
Well, it's in the Bible, the temptation of Jesus. When Jesus is out in the desert for, all that time, Satan's is like, hey, you want some fucking water?
Yeah, you're right.
And that's supposed to be the lesson. No, I don't want water. I'm dying in the desert. This is what our dad wants for us.
Yeah.
And here he is. He's just trying to help his stepbrother out,
Hmm.
or his half brother rather. So that, I tend to take more of a Milton perspective when I look at Satan, because I don't think he's the evil thing. I think evil is a construct of humanity. I
Yeah.
think we have to find as a society what good and evil is. And I
Hmm.
think for the most part, it's spot on, but that all depends on the person, I
Hmm.
guess. And I tried to put, when I tried to write this, I realized, everyone thinks that Satan and hell is the bad place because, oh, okay, yeah, that's where you go when you're being punished. And he realizes that. But I didn't want to make him out and out evil because I wanted him to be a bit more likable and a bit more sympathetic. So in order to do that, I made him more mischievous. I guess I combined a bit of Loki from the Norse mythology into
Okay.
it, which of course Christianity borrowed a lot from the Norse, as they did from Buddhist places and all of that other stuff. That's how this works. It's a cross pollination. And I can say this with confidence because I'm married to someone who has a degree in religious studies, among other degrees.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's great
by
though. I mean,
osmosis,
listening to this, you don't even need a degree in that stuff to know, to kind of get a general sense of this. But yeah, it definitely helps.
it
Definitely helps.
does. Yeah, and you don't have what I set out to do. I'm not taking this seriously at all. I mean, yeah, God is mentioned in the book, but he's not a character, or she's not a character, or it's not a character, however you choose to believe.
Uh,
Uh, I did have Jesus in there originally, but I decided to take him out because I had a better idea.
uh,
Originally, it was going to be a trust fund douchebag.
that would
Um,
have been great.
so
That
it
would have been
was
great,
funny.
dude.
I thought it was funny, but when I was rewriting, I came up with a better idea overall for the plot that served the plot better. So I cut that part out,
Okay.
that's something as a writer that you do. And sometimes it's really hard because you think you're writing really, really great stuff, and then you come back to it after some time and you realize, what the fuck was I trying to say here?
Mm.
No, this doesn't work. This doesn't work at all. So Jesus got cut.
Jesus got cut. Jesus got cut from your book, man. But the devil lives, huh?
Cut.
It's about the devil.
The devil's still there. Yep.
So the devil's more mischievous. He's more like the Lucifer fallen angel type. I'm still getting like South Park vibes, sort of.
It's a good vibe. Yeah, I mean, the style of humor is kind of there, but I mean, I think it's less political and less satirical, I would say. It's definitely more absurdist. It's definitely more, this is just a bunch of ridiculous shit that is happening, and let's go along for the ride and see where it goes.
Okay, so there's no there's no Saddam. There's no Saddam's not running
the
show.
Saddam.
No Hitler or anything.
No, there's no.
Is Hitler in the book?
Saddam. There is no Hitler, although I think I did mention Goebbels at one point, just as a one-off joke.
Is he running the PR campaign? Oh,
I think he was their office manager at one point before he got promoted.
Wait. Do you have this all plotted out? Like who's running HR?
I don't know. I don't think I identified an HR rep. There were 3 main demons that reported under Satan, who are the main characters, but I don't know. I do believe that I did mention that Hell has HR, but I think it was mostly along the lines of whoever gets reported to them has to eat a bunch of cobwebs made out of broken glass.
Ugh, gross. Yeah, nasty. Oh
yeah.
Man. Wow. So, wait, in your version of Hell and the Satan guy, does he personally torture everybody, or does he have to outsource it? How does he?
So he oversees it, and he's got different departments taking care of everything. He's like Elon Musk of Hell, except for somewhat more likable.
Yeah,
Satan's not accusing people of being pedophiles who aren't pedophiles. Let's just put it that way.
But he's good. He's going to torture them. You came down here for pedophilia.
Yeah. If they're down there, they're down there for a reason, and that's what he follows his orders. He's a good soldier like that. Even after Dad kicked him out,
Mm-hmm. Hell, he gets to test off the Elon Musk flamethrowers down there. He's like, got to run this off. Test the shit out. Yeah. All right. So what else happens? I'm curious. What is? Well. Okay.
All right. So the basic plot is, it starts in the 80s during the Satanic Panic with this really inept group of Satanists who think that they have a spell that, if they do it right, they will summon Satan from hell and bind him to their will so they can use him to do whatever they want. But they fuck it up, of course. And Satan is still lifted from hell, but he is then bound to a random child who was born that evening. And her name is Michaela. And so he cannot use his powers to kill her or get back to hell or anything. There is someone who has done this to both of them. So the novel progresses a little bit through Michaela's life as she grows up, and then eventually to an adult, where they've kind of settled into this weird kind of relationship where they kind of coexist because they can't really be apart. They are literally bound by a tether to her, that only they can see. And so they've been spending most of her adult life trying to find some kind of magic to undo the spell. And throughout that, they collect a pretty ragtag group of characters, of a bartender from a Chili's in Kansas City that Satan goes to get drunk, who has a very strange head. There is a tentacle monster that Satan summons to try to scare.
Back up. I have so many questions. Wait. Did you just say Satan goes to a particular bar to get drunk?
Yeah, I think it's the Kansas City Chili's.
Okay.
No, excuse me. TGI Fridays.
TGI Fridays. Oh, Satan.
Yeah,
Satan
he goes to TGI Fridays.
Oh, Satan's a basic bitch. Okay, he goes to TGI Fridays. least I guess
Like
it's
their
better.
2 special.
I guess better than Applebee's. He goes to TGI Fridays. Gets drunk. Okay. He can get drunk anywhere. But I like this. I like this. I like it. I like this.
Yeah, he likes the TGI Fridays.
Okay. Cool. I'm following.
That's a good reaction. Okay.
No, I like it. I like it. It's funny. Imagine Satan go. He can go anywhere. But where does he go? TGI fucking Fridays. That's where he's fucking going right there.
TGI Fridays. That's where Satan goes.
All right. And
Ooh.
I cut you off. You were saying something about what he.
There's
the tentacle
there's
monster.
the tentacle.
Yeah. Just tell me about that.
So, during one of the scenes, unfortunately, because of the binding, Satan accidentally murders the girl Michaela's parents and an entire hospital. But it happens.
Wait. He murders her by accident in an entire hospital? Okay.
He murders her parents and an entire hospital by accident. He doesn't know where he is. He's on fire. Everything he touches, it goes up in flames unless he's thinking about it.
Yeah. Must not be on fire.
So
he definitely thinks about it when he's on TJ Fridays. Okay, guys, I'm not going to be burning.
That's right. His ass is not going to be burning his bar stool. For sure.
Okay.
So Michaela's in foster care. She's about to be adopted.
Yeah.
Satan doesn't have much of his powers because of this spell, but he has enough. He makes himself. He has the wherewithal enough that he can still make himself invisible to most people, and he can still kind of read people. And there's a couple coming in to adopt her, and he reads them, and he reads that you're the type of people that are kind of going to come see me when you die.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't want to be stuck with that. It's more of a self-preservation thing rather than, or at least that's what he thinks at the time. I don't want to be stuck with this type of crap. So I'm going to save the girl.
Yeah.
And in doing so, he basically tries to make a scene where she's possessed. So he makes like blood run up the walls and all this shit, but his powers are weak, so it doesn't go so well. And he summons a tentacle monster. And the tentacle monster is supposed to like rip everyone apart, but it ends up just.
Wait, Tom. I gotta ask, just make sure. I've been watching a lot of anime recently. So when you say tentacle monster, you're talking about like hentai tentacle monster, like the Japanese tentacle porn sort of monster.
More Lovecraftian. Imagine just a giant mass of tentacles, and it's just like writhing around on the ground. It's just like a never-ending ball of spaghetti. Just
that could still be kind of pornographic. Let me ask you a segue just a little bit. Don't worry, I'll keep us track where we are. If Lovecraft was around today, what do you think his reaction would be to Japanese hentai, Japanese tentacle porn?
I think he would be disgusted because he was a terrible racist, and he would realize that he would think that anything that the Japanese people did was subhuman because he was a terrible racist.
He was a terrible racist, for sure. I didn't think about that. I was going to say that he'd definitely disavow. I agree that he would disavow and be disgusted.
But would he masturbate to it?
Now, that's the thing.
Yes, he would.
Yes. He would keep a collection in the dark. He'd be like, no, man, I don't approve. Yes. But then he'd be like, okay, where do I find this? What is the internet? How do I use the internet?
Yes, Lovecraft definitely hate masturbate to hentai porn.
Yes. Okay. Now that we got that scientific question out of the way.
I hope that, someone put that on my tombstone, please. Lovecraft would hate masturbate to hentai porn. Kyle Rader.
Shit. Which I'd like to see that happen. Not really. Anyway. Okay, so your tentacle monster is not a hentai tentacle monster. It is the I'm going to kill you tentacle monster. It is the
It's supposed to
Cthulhu
be.
type, yeah. Which, by the way, there's a whole
Hey.
like erotica section of like on. Of course there is. There's a Lovecraft erotica. You know that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't there be? I mean,
There's like
I,
Booty Call of Cthulhu is a real book.
well, I mean, I guess of all the Lovecraftian gods that you want to bang Cthulhu because he's top dog. I mean, are
Right.
you gonna bang Nyarlathotep? You're gonna bang Dagon? I mean,
Mo-
Dagon's a fishy guy. I mean,
right.
he's gonna stink.
Most people don't even
Yeah,
know who he is. Be like, "Oh, what? I only know
yeah.
Cthulhu because he's the main guy. But no,
He's the jock. He's the quarterback. He's
yeah.
the one you want. We all know it.
Yeah, you don't settle for anything less. You go Cthulhu, go all the way.
Go big or go home. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
especially in these times, you know.
Right? Shit. You're gonna
Yeah.
go out. If you're gonna go out of the house, might as well make it worth it.
Shit.
So anyway, so your tentacle monster actually kills. Okay. So how much damage is it doing? Like what are we talking about here? Because Satan created it. Like what's going on?
Well, Satan summoned it from its realm to do the damage, and instead of doing the damage, it gets distracted by a game of Operation and starts playing that.
Serious? That's good. That's good.
And
That's funny.
it keeps getting stuck on the funny bone.
Of course it does. Who can get that?
It's hard. And so basically, it hangs around. It was only supposed to be a one scene joke, but then I liked it, and I made it a character, and it follows them throughout. And it most people don't even realize that it's a writhing mass of cosmic horror. They either think it's the dog, or they think it's just the accountant, because it does do their taxes too.
Wait a second. This tentacle monster can do taxes?
It can do taxes. This tentacle
sweet.
monster does taxes.
Great. Awesome. That's cool. All right. Look at that. Taxes. But he could do that while being distracted with the operation game too, right?
Yeah, just don't throw an operation game in front of it. It will not be able to function. It will until it gets all the bones out.
Oh, so it's ADD. It's like a little autistic maybe.
It's I would say it's definitely ADHD or AHD or whatever it is. I don't think it's on the spectrum per se, but it's definitely
Not yet. It might be. I don't know. We threw some other.
I don't know the physiology of tentacle monsters, and I created this fucking thing.
I will say the tentacle is probably not skinny enough to actually get in there and get in the operation game. Dang.
Well, it has so many of them, you know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get all them out of there. Oh, that's good.
a hard game. That is a very hard game,
right? Man, I played that with my son the other day, and he was crying. He was crying because he couldn't get the stuff out. It's like, Dad, can you make this easier? It's like, I can't make it any easier.
You can tip it over and just say, "Hey, that's a life hack, son."
Yeah. Oh, so tentacle monsters. So what else does Satan summon if not tentacle monsters?
It's mostly just that and the tentacle monster.
Okay.
It's the tentacle monster. He's got his bartender from TGI Fridays that he recruits, and between those two and the woman Michaela that he's bound to, they're all trying to figure out how do we fix this while trying to actually live a life.
Right.
And they actually live a life, and they live a pretty decent life, and they're still trying to fix it because that's always what they've known. It's always that's the journey. We're on the journey to do that. And in the meantime, oh shit, look at this. We've actually built a life. We've got a kind of a very strange ass family right here, but it's working. So that theme comes across throughout, especially when they eventually do find a potential way to free them all and also save the universe, because the longer Satan's out of hell, the more it's falling apart.
Okay, and that's what they want to back out. So, because the premise is the life you have is better than the life you want. So we have Satan, who is, I guess, tired of torture, tired of sodomizing everybody. People are like, what is up with you, Mr. Devin, with sodomy? That's all I know about, like, with the devil. What is he supposed to do? Put you in flame? I don't know. But anyway, Satan's tired of torturing people. It's like, I want a better life. I want the life. Like, so what does Satan want to be? Like, is he wanting to be like a cheerleader? Is he wanting to be a zookeeper? Like, what is he wanting to be?
All jokes aside,
He's kind of a zookeeper.
I think he is. He
is a zookeeper. What am I talking about?
It's a zoo down there. So, in all seriousness, in the book, I do believe that Satan really does want to be a hero. He wants to matter. He wants to have his actions matter because he's been torturing and doing his dad's whatever his dad. This is what his dad told. This is the job he has. He can't quit.
Yeah.
And if he quits, the universe starts to fuck up, and he knows that, and he knows he has to get back. But at the same time, he kind of likes not doing that. He kind of just likes being. He just kind of likes being.
He needs a vacay, man.
But
Everyone needs a vacation. Even Satan needs a vacation.
Yeah, he does like that. But at the same time, I think he does want to be the one who saves the day. Because when he was an angel, that's kind of what he was doing. I mean, Lucifer's the angel of light, so he's like, I'm the morning star. Welcome. Hello.
Now I'm the guy who welds the morning star, and I just have to flail it and hit you in the balls with it.
That's right. I carved the morning star.
Morning star.
I could pour salt into it, you know.
I used to be a hero. Now I'm just hitting you with my balls. Okay.
Yep.
Man, Satan's life sounds boring. It sounds draining. You know, you think about like the company in hell it sounds like fun at first, right? You have all the rock stars down there, the lawyers, the drugs, all this. I mean, you have sex, drugs, rock and roll. It's a party day in, day out. But that's the drain you eventually, right? I wonder if Satan's like, God, just kill me now, please. Like, kill me.
He's the equivalent of the guy just chasing retirement in upper middle management, man. He's, he loves his presentations. He's just maintaining the status quo, hoping something comes along and happens.
Right? I can imagine that.
I think in a way that kind of reflects, I didn't anticipate this, but it kind of reflects me in my early 20s.
Holy hell, dude,
I wasn't in upper or middle management or anything. I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do with my life. And I wasted a lot of time, I think, waiting for something to happen. And it's not like I wasn't trying to make something happen. I was, but I don't think I was trying hard enough. Because as I was in a small town, and the allure of the small town is everything you need is here. But for me, it wasn't, and it took me a good long while to finally, make something and make something happen, and not just in my professional life or my personal life, but now as a writer, I feel like I would waste a lot of time. And so I think there's some regrets in Satan, in our old friend Satan in the book. And I think that comes from me. It's my regret.
Definitely.
And I'm getting deep here. Everyone does.
You're right. Like what people said about the book, I'm sensing it now. Just talk about it. Like he's relatable. The situation he's going through is relatable.
Well, I wanted him to be. Yeah, I wanted him to be. I wanted him to be relatable. I wanted him to be fun too. I mean, he's kind of a dick, but he's the fun dick. He's the guy that keep around because he makes you laugh.
Even if you take in his full story, it's like Satan doesn't even really want to be there. He doesn't want to torture you. He has to torture you now. He doesn't even want to freaking do it. He gets no joy out of it anymore. I guess he kind of does in a way, but even your book, it's like he's bored of it. He's like, God, I just want this to be done with.
He's kind of like, man. That's what he's doing.
Every day, a lot of us, you listening, you listen on the podcast or they're on YouTube. I'm kind of streaming right now on YouTube. I don't really promote it right now because my feelings about YouTube. But your day job, right? You go in, you bust your ass, you punch in, and you're just waiting. Maybe you're waiting for something to just take it all away, hoping that something beyond your control will just take it all away. Make it to where you don't have to do it anymore. Free you of that existence. You know? I don't know. I felt that way when I worked at a call center. Every time I'd go into work, I'm just praying, will the building please catch on fire?
Yeah.
Please let the building catch on fire today. And yes, Patty in the chat, and yes, I'm pretty safe and sound right now. Smoking a cigar for my health because I got to get my lungs good and ready. I laugh now. I swear, I will say this. I don't want to make this a Corona stream, but if I do get it, I will be streaming. I'll let you know just how bad that joke is. I'll be like, oh man, I shouldn't have been smoking those cigars. God damn it. I'll make it worth it. Anyway. Talking about devil. Talk about wanting the life he wants is not worth it because the life he has is good enough.
Yeah. I think, there's this, I don't know if it's an expectation or it's whatever. I think, and I don't know if it's a generational thing or what, but I kind of feel like we were promised, and I guess I'm one of the elder millennials here. I'm almost 40. I remember rotary phones, and I remember a time when there wasn't an internet. I seem to recall.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I seem to recall somebody along the way promising us that we could all be whatever we wanted and be real rich, real famous.
Oh yeah, my parents did. And you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
my teachers did.
I'm still kind of waiting for that, and I kind of feel like we need to find that person and really beat the shit out of them because it's not true. It's not necessarily true per se. I mean, you could be successful in what you do, but I mean,
yeah, some of us took good paths, some of us didn't. I look at some of the people I went to school with, and they took other paths in life, and now they're in money. I took a path, and well, I guess I have a job, so I shouldn't complain. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it's all about. I mean, something my father told me that his father told him, and his father was got married like 5 or 6 times. I forget. And he said that, what did he say? He said that find a job that you love to do, and then it's not like work. I haven't found that.
That's hard to find, man. I will tell you what it's not. It's not restraining kids at a psychiatric facility. I got tired of that stuff. Now it's
definitely not.
Now it's taking away kids for the state of Texas. Sorry. CPS work. Anyway. Yeah, you kind of try to find. I like the job I wanted was something very more creative, definitely in gaming, but I wasn't a really good programmer and all. I hated programming. I'm not a good artist. So I tried to look into creative aspects, creative fields, but no real talent for that. And also I needed to take care of a family. So I kind of, I guess you could say, settled in a way. But I guess my priority shifted. Instead of looking for the job that's like really fun for me, I was looking for the job that would help provide, and I would find my pocket of fun somehow. And I had the Dead Man's Tome stuff on the side, and that's my creative juice. That's my creative field. That's what lets me, I guess, kind of cope. Like this podcast, I enjoy this a whole lot. Like talking to people like you and other authors and other creative minds. This is great. I love this stuff. But not everyone has this. Not everyone has something like that. But you have something too. I mean, you're a creative mind. You write. But Now,
Yeah.
do you write full time, or do you also work on the side, or do you work full time and write part time?
It's definitely a work full time and right on the side. I mean, I haven't made any real money off my writing yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I've made some money, but it's not enough to sustain me. I mean, I'm
Right.
still, I guess, fairly, I guess the polite term would say indie, but I'm definitely very obscure in terms of where I'm at and my level. I mean, I've got 3 books published. I mean, and a bunch of short stories. I'm doing my best. I'm just like so many of the really great writers that I know that were all just out there kind of just screaming into the void, just saying, give us a shot, buy our stuff,
Hmm.
check us out, and it's difficult to build a readership and build an audience.
It is. It does get really difficult because like you have to like you said, a lot of authors are shouting out like on Facebook or on Twitter or other social media, like here I am. But a lot of them are shouting out too. But then you see other indie authors who are definitely self publishing and they're doing very well. Now and
Yeah, yeah,
they seem very organized and they have it all together. I look at them like, man, part of me is like jealous, it's like a little envy, but it's like, you know what? Man, hats off to you. Like you got it. Like, in fact, if
one
anything, for people
thing,
like that, I
yeah.
want to get you on the show and talk about like what you're doing to give people like some motivation and stuff. Because some of them, they have it work for them now. Like I talked with this one couple, they live in a very well, the cost of living is pretty high over there in Washington State,
Mm,
but they're making a living
yeah.
on their own pretty much, just self publishing. But they churn out material like twice a month on the clock, like
Mm,
routine. And they're also living in like the small house situation. So low, I guess, though the cost of living is higher over there, their house is really small and all that. It doesn't sound like they have kids, you know. So if you're
right.
living like the average life, I don't know how practical it would be, but for them, it's working. It's working. It's like okay, you know.
Well, I guess my advice, and I am not a I guess I consider myself a full time, part time writer
Mhm.
because I do have a full time job that is the priority because it pays my mortgage, keeps food in my kid's mouth. I mean, he's only 6 months, so he's still, on the bottle. But um, my advice to anybody who wants to make a serious go being full time author is content, content, content. Content is king. You got to be putting it out there, submitting either short stories, your novels, or whatever. I mean, and there's going to be a backlog. If you're submitting novels to agents, they get so many
Mhm.
submissions a month, a
Yeah.
week. And if you're going to self publish, I did self publish my BFF Satanist, my first self published book. And the reason why I did that is I was not finding anyone who was willing to publish a horror comedy. It seemed like comic fiction, unless
Mhm.
you're someone like Christopher Moore, who does satirical comedic fiction and he does it very well. No one really is interested because it's not the hot thing at the moment. So I decided to give this self-publishing thing a shot. But at that same time, I've invested a lot of my own money. I got a professional cover by Don Noble of Rooster Republic Press. I'm putting a little plug in for Don because the cover is fantastic, and he
Mhm.
did a fantastic job. And if you are in the market, please seek out Don. Yes, that was my radio voice there. um, so, I got a professional cover artist. I didn't know anything about how to lay out a book to publish on Amazon. They have how to do it videos, but
Mhm.
I've got a kid. I got a 6 month old. I don't have the real time. So I paid someone who has done that, who I trust, who's a professional to do that as well. And then I also paid a professional editor to give it a final pass because I want this to be a quality product. I
Yeah.
mean, I did 3 rounds of edits, but at the same time, I'm not a professional editor.
Yeah.
So those 3 things alone, I'm already in the hole.
Mhm.
So if you're going to self-publish people, and if you want to do it and quality, if you want to put a quality product out there, your business plan should account for you're not going to make money for your first couple of months or even couple of
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's not even counting promotion. If you can't even afford that, you can't even afford promotion budgets. And I'm in a position where I had a little extra that I could afford some promotion, but even then, no one really knows who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the periphery, I feel, but it's rough. It is rough out
You know
there,
what? Too, I'm gonna tell
especially
you
now.
something, and it might be like pissing in your eggs. At the same time you say that, and I do appreciate the quality, the amount of time you're spending in creating quality work. At the same time, there's people who maybe go one pass on their work, maybe do a Photoshop job on the cover, and we know what we're talking about here. You know what I'm talking about when
Mhm.
they'll take they'll take images off the internet and they'll tweak them, just barely get around, I guess, fair use, maybe tweak it and then put it up there and then call it a day. And then they get some cells. They get some cells, and that some
Mm.
cells may not be nearly as much as yours, or might be less than yours, but or might be more. But since they're not in that hole, they don't have to make up a whole lot of costs. You see that
It's true.
in horror, you see that in like romance, you see that in erotica, you see that throughout.
Yeah.
It's but
Yeah, like
quality is appreciated though. I mean, quality is appreciated by I guess people who want to return. People who read it and like, man, I like this. I want to go back and read it. So
so I mean, I still believe in traditional publishing, and I'm
mhm.
still submitting to traditional ways. It's just I was getting more than a little
Oh
frustrated
yeah, yeah.
at this thing that I created, which I think is pretty great. So I decided to give it a shot and see what happens. I mean, at the minimum, I created a book that maybe a dozen people bought and read and enjoyed. Oh no,
Hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, fortunately enough, I can take the financial hit at least right now. I mean, who knows what's going to happen the next month with what's going
Yeah,
on, but
like that's the other
at
thing
least right
too.
now, okay. But a lot of these indie writers, especially the ones that self-publish, this is their income. They have
Hmm.
made it their goal to earn a living from writing, and that's where I'd like to be.
And
But
you
I'm
know,
I'm
in
just
my
not there.
next question for you, really, and I think this one might be the one that wraps up the show here, at least for those listening on the podcast and all that. We have a bonus show coming up afterwards for patrons where we talk about. I think we're doing a have you never have I ever, or a two lies and one truth. And so we'll see what we're gonna do. Anyway,
Mm,
how do you stay motivated during a time like
yeah,
this, where
that is
everything
a great
is in
question.
flux? Like Amazon is supposedly cutting off sales of non-essential goods. What does that mean? Books,
Mhm.
DVDs? Am I not going to get my DVD Blu-ray
Yeah.
box set of some various anime stuff? I promised on hentai that I ordered. Like, is that going to come into the mail, or is that not going to come into the mail? What's going on with that? How do you
Yeah.
stay motivated during a time like this?
Well, we're living in no one alive has lived through this type of time, I think. Um, Possibly there are some people alive who are still alive in World War II. That's probably as close as it gets. But the last like
Yeah, they probably have
serious
dementia and shit
pandemic,
too. They probably don't even
they
remember.
they may
Yeah,
they may and they may.
yeah.
I mean, the last pandemic that they're saying is this bad. I mean, because we've had pandemics in our time, and I'm saying that again as an elder millennial here, I guess. But they were always managed better. They were never this bad. We're in uncharted waters here, my friends. And it is very nerve wracking. It's very scary. It's very stressful. And especially for me, I've got with a 6-month old, and with you yourself, you got kids. I mean,
Two.
it's you're not just thinking about yourself. You're thinking about, oh my God, what's going to happen if my kids get sick? And I mean, yes, the virus at this point seems to not affect the kids as much, but who's to say? So I get it. I get it. It is hard to focus, even if you're working from home on your day job, let alone trying to be a creative person and do creative content. So I guess what I would say is this, is that if you're a writer or an artist or a musician or any of the other creative things that I may be neglecting here, you're doing it because, number one, you enjoy doing it. It makes you feel good to write a story, to sing a song, to compose a song, to play guitar, to paint a picture, to design something on Photoshop or it's Illustrator or whatever. It makes you feel good. You need to hold on to that. That is going to get you through it. That's going to get us through it. And especially, I mean, it's probably going to get worse than we think, or it might not. We don't know. There's uncertainty. Focus, keep that in mind. People want they want an escape. They are going to look to the creatives for it. And we need to be there for them. I mean, it's not necessarily a burden, but we need to do it. We need to keep going. Otherwise, what's the point?
Right. I mean, you could live like your days are done and you're dead already, lying in your coffin. But why? What's the point? If you were alive now, just make the most of it. Don't just give up.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I get right now.
Tell your stories.
Right now in our situation,
tell your stories.
Oh yeah.
Sing your songs, man.
That's what I got. Sing your songs. Do the things you like to do. Hug those that are close to you. Remember those that you love. Right now, it's about survival. It is. It's like you got to prioritize those things, but you can't forget that you like to write. And what happens if you don't let those things out on paper or on the screen is that they stay in your head, and then you have regret, and then you hate yourself, and then you're no longer drinking because you like it, you're drinking because you hate yourself, and then you go on a downward spiral, and then you turn into
and that's a good point. I mean, being in this isolation, even if you're with your family or not, and you're trying to stay inside, your mental health is key. And writing, creating art is a positive thing, and it's going to stave off all of those negative thoughts, those negative feelings that the world, what the fuck are we doing? Everything's going to go down. Twitter says this, Twitter says that. Honestly,
creating. At this point, I would say what I do personally, then again, I'm kind of a bad example because my writing schedule has not been good. I've been streaming more than ever, and it's like I should be writing stuff, but I'm addicted to streaming. What can I say? It's just
still art, man. It's still, you're still providing a service.
It's like what happens is I see stuff on the internet. I see stuff, and I'm like, I get a hair. I get something that like crosses my skin and my blood boils. I'm like, I just got to talk about this. I got to vent about this. I got to, So that's what leads to the streams and all that. But it's like you gotta take yourself out from the social media, because on Facebook I see a lot of posts about. I don't want to get into politics, so I avoid that stuff. I'm done. And then at coronavirus, I'm like, dude, I've been following that since since February. I'm done. I actually tuned out. I stopped doing my coronavirus videos. Now I just you've probably seen it on the YouTube channel. Mr. Medicare, his stuff. I just like, you know what? He does better than a job than I can. Shit, I just host some of his stuff now. I'm like, man, he taps into the I don't know how he does it, but he taps into like the core of what's going on. Like he knew about how like malaria medicine and AIDS medicine was being used to treat that treat coronavirus before a lot of people did. And it's like, yeah, malaria medicine. You guys on Facebook, that's old news, man. I knew about that since like the beginning, but okay. Anyway, but you got to tap yourself out of it. You got to get yourself out of it. I've done that.
That's right, man. Your keyboard, your paintbrush, your guitar, your piano, whatever creative outlet you have, or maybe you don't even think you have a creative outlet. You probably do. You may not realize it. Use it. Use it. Don't binge Netflix all the time. You know, if you're going to be stuck inside, you know, read a book, or even, you know, call someone you haven't called in a while. Yeah, actually call someone. I know. I don't call anyone either, or text them. You know, calling people seems weird to me at this point. So yeah, text these people. You have the ability to raise your mind out of this and try to assuage your fears. What you cannot stop the virus. You can't. You're going to get it, or you're not going to get it. If you follow the rules, you still may get it. We just don't know. But you don't need to really we're not in a Black Plague situation yet. You don't need to be out in the square flagellating yourself.
Right.
So please, if anybody takes anything I say seriously, which I can understand why you wouldn't, please, those are your outlets.
Okay.
Those are your avenues of relief.
My last question for you, I think this one will be it. That will seal the episode off. Do you have a new favorite horror movie? Like a recent favorite horror movie?
Let's see. So right before I came on, I did do the $20 purchase, and I did stream The Invisible Man, the new one. So $20 is a bit steep, but then I thought, well, I guess they may be thinking it's 2 persons a household, so that's $10 each. So that's
$20 to stream it. It's $20 to stream it.
Yeah, and you don't get to own it. You just stream it for 48 hours.
Oh, man, okay.
It's a bit steep, but this is uncharted territory too. But I mean, look at it this way: a 2-person household or apartment, that's $10 a ticket. That's basically in keeping with what's going on. But anyway, so I did just watch that. I don't think it's a real horror movie, though. I thought it was very well made, but I think it's more in the line of a suspense type of movie. So I would say check it out, but I don't know if you want to.
Is it good?
Spend $20. It's very well made. Yeah, I think it's very. I thought it was good. Is it great? No, but it's good. Yes.
The Invisible Man seems hard to really do well because there's always that one scene. I haven't seen this one, but I'm sure I heard people talk about it. There's always something about the Invisible Man that comes off kind of pervy and rapey because like he's like
that's this entire fucking movie, dude.
Because he's fixated. Because hold on, look at it okay. I know nothing about the movie, but I'll say in theory, if you were invisible and you still had feelings for your wife or girlfriend and they didn't know you existed anymore, wouldn't you still want to spend time with them, but you couldn't? And it's like, how do you make that connection? And it's like, how do you do that without coming off pervy? How do you do? They can't fucking see you. They can't, even if you were with your wife and like, it's like, honey, I'm right here. I can't see you. I'm right here.
So you basically just described the entire plot.
I mean, that'd be hell, dude.
They might as well have called it gaslighting the movie, to be honest with you. There's some unsettling shit in there if you really stop and think about it, besides the kind of cool, like CGI and the effects. It's pretty fucking unsettling, like you just said. But the only other like recent horror movie I think I've seen was Doctor Sleep. I did. I purchased that.
It was better than The Shining?
Yeah, I did. Oh, it's not. Well, I like The Shining. But was it better than The Shining? I like there was so much that they did to pay homage to The Shining, and just even that's the most subtle ways. There was one scene where Ewan McGregor is being interviewed for a job, and the office that he's in and the framework, the angles that they used is exactly the same as when Jack Nicholson is doing his first interview in The Shining. And I'm watching that, like, oh, that's kind of neat. That's really, really cool. And it was a very well-made movie. I do recommend seeing Dr. Sleep. Invisible Man, paying $20 right now. Look, we're in a tough time, so maybe not $20, but Dr. Sleep, I think you can rent right now for, at least half of that. It's a longer movie, though. It's like almost 3 hours long, but it's still pretty good. It was better than the book. I thought. I didn't really like the book so much. I thought the book was kind of lame, but I thought the performances of Dr. Sleep, the direction, the effects, I thought it was very well made. So
okay. That's good.
Go see Dr. Sleep.
And that's for mine. Well, as far as horror movie goes, so I've been watching a lot of like B movies lately.
B movies are great. They're great.
There's one that comes to mind right now, and it's not a good movie at all. And I don't know why I'm about to say it's. Oh God, it's not even good. Have you ever seen Devil Girl from Mars?
I have not seen Devil Girl from Mars, but it sounds amazing.
Dude, they could. Cheers could have done an episode ripping on this because the movie takes place pretty much in one place: a bar, a pub, an English pub, and this Martian, who is this chick who's just dressed in black leather. She's pretty hot. She's definitely hotter than when she's out of the suit, but it does sort of like starts going on a latex fetish. But it's like, okay. So she lands, she miscalculates. Sorry. Her spacecraft gets hit by a meteorite that hit the Earth. So she has to land at this pub. She was trying to go to London, but she lands at this pub. She's like, my ship needs repairs. I'll be done in 4 days. After just 4 days, I'm going to take one of you with me, and the rest of you are going to die. The end. And she's like, you can't go anywhere because I put this imaginary wall around you guys. You can't, this visible wall. You can't get out. So she's this unstoppable villain. And she has these, like, every time she appears, she has, like, these villain monologues where she's like, I'm unstoppable. I'm the best. My technology is the best. You can't hurt me. Because every time she appears at the pub, they try to outsmart her. They try to hurt her. Like, they try to shoot her. And the bullets do nothing to her. They try to electrify her, and it's like, haha, you can't mess with me, but I'm going to get you guys. But yeah, I find that funny. Just the whole creation of that. It's remarked that it's actually noted as to be one of the worst movies ever made, but no, that can't be. That can't be because I've seen a lot worse recently. That's why it's my recent favorite.
I've seen Manos Hands of Fate on Mystery Science Theater, and that was pretty fucking bad. The bar for really shitty movies is pretty high for me. I heard Glenn Danzig's movie is real bad, but I have yet to.
Man, he should just stick to being Danzig. He should stick to metal and, well, yeah.
Well, so to be fair, I have seen Danzig, and he brought out Doyle, and they played Misfits, and they played old shit, and he was really, really great, and he was actually seemed to be in a good mood, so he wasn't a dick. But I heard this movie is quite special. It's a painful type of special, so I don't know if I'm willing to spend the money. I don't know if I have enough booze to get me through it, but
yeah. Okay.
If you want something unique, I guess Verotica by Glenn Danzig is available to rent on Amazon Prime. So, Godspeed.
There you go. Look, take that with a grain of salt, huh? Give it a try, though.
Give it a try. You may like it.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap the show up here. We'll have a bonus show for patrons only. Okay, I get the coronavirus. Not everyone has money to become a patron. Okay, we'll see what happens. You know, I have a soft spot for that. But yeah, we have a bonus show coming up. So if you listen on the podcast feed on iTunes, leave a 5-star rating, leave a comment. Listen on Spreaker, press the heart button on YouTube. Honestly, I don't really care about YouTube right now, but please leave a thumbs up button or whatever. Or, just give us some praise. Anyway, Patty, thanks for sticking around in the chat. Y'all take it easy.